How's it going, everybody? My name is JustJarrod, but you can just call me Jared, and welcome back to another legendary loot news video. Today we've got a bit of a different game to talk about, one that doesn't include the typical kind of loot we usually focus on here on the channel. Destruction All-Stars is in today's figurative loot chest, a Destruction Derby PlayStation 5 exclusive title being developed by Lucid Games. We're going to talk about the game a bit and speculate on what we could see and what I hope to see in terms of loot in this game, so stay a while and listen. First off, really quick, I want to make a point about the gaming term loot. When we talk about the term loot in games, most people usually automatically think about things like gold, swords, shields, guns, armor, things like that, which is understandable as that's where it all started. Most loot in games are those items that upgrade or enhance a character you're playing as. What a lot of people don't realize is that the term loot is very vague. It could mean different things for different people. Almost every game out there has some sort of loot in it or loot mechanic built into it, even if the game itself doesn't refer to said design as loot. At its bare bones, loot is just a thing in a game that you are excited about obtaining or experiencing. This could mean a wide variety of things. A magic staff in Diablo, a collectible in Assassin's Creed, a planet in No Man's Sky, an unlock on a battle pass, a cosmetic in Rocket League, a vehicle part in Need for Speed. You might see where I'm going with this. So, Destruction All-Stars could be just a cool Destruction Derby game where you destroy other vehicles in crazy outlandish arenas as part of a primetime TV show and that's it, which is also literally all we know about the game so far, or it could have some kind of loot in it, some form of player or vehicle progression, customization, a battle pass maybe, who knows. All of that is a form of loot, and I hope we see something along the lines of those mechanics in this game, so let's talk about it. I'd be willing to bet, based on the trailer that's been playing in the background for you, that there will either be some form of character or vehicle progression, or both, in Destruction All-Stars. The trailer puts a lot of focus on the actual characters. I guess you might relate them to the heroes in Overwatch or something like that maybe. Each hero in Overwatch has their own abilities, playstyles, and characteristics. It looks like Destruction All-Stars are going this route as well. Each character has their own car, and each car has its own abilities. For example, we see a wrestler guy's car turn into a ramp that shoots cars over him, another car bursts into green flames, one gets super turbo speed, and another can literally slice a car in two, which is epic. You can also control your character outside of your car during a match. There's no real details on this, just like most of the game's features, but it might be a last-ditch effort mechanic to take out some other drivers after your vehicle has already been reduced to rubble. We see one of the characters, some techie-looking cyborg guy, jump onto the top of a vehicle and then it explodes. This is why I believe that each character might have their own abilities and quite possibly progression too. Progression could be anything, but usually games that focus on online player versus player have some sort of progression tied to them to give another reason to keep playing. We don't know if Destruction All-Stars is online only or if it's team-based, if there's co-op. We only know that there is online multiplayer, so there's gotta be some kind of progression. Now there's multiple ways they could go about progression. Vehicle upgrades and a level system could be really cool if done right and the multiplayer game modes match you up against other people around the same level of progression that you are at. That could get out of hand easily though if levels and upgrades are a driving mechanic and end up being unbalanced because of high disparity between levels of players in the same match. Did I just say driving mechanic? That's an unintended pun right there. Some articles around the web describe Destruction All-Stars as a tactical Destruction Derby game, and if somehow Lucid Games have found a way to include tactics into a game purely about hitting cars with your car really hard, then there quite possibly could be lots of player skill involved. If player skill in getting better and better is the driving mechanic behind the game, then they might go the route of cosmetic progression or a battle pass of some kind, similar to what Rocket League does. Any progression is good progression in games in my opinion, so I'm open to any or all of this. Me and many others spend countless hours customizing cars in Rocket League. Car customization is very addicting and very fun when you have lots of options and unlocks, especially when those unlocks are random drops after matches. I would love to have a system like this in a Destruction Derby game, even if everything is cosmetic only. If the gameplay is fun to play and I can play with friends and there's high replayability and there's car customization, I won't need another multiplayer game ever. Obviously, we could go on and on about speculation for this game. I don't want to delve too deep into everything because of how little info we have currently. Besides the trailer and like a one-sentence description of the game, we know zero other facts. But I wanted to just touch on the possibilities, touch on some of the things that could make this game very addicting if the gameplay is fun. That's the main thing. Destruction All-Stars needs to be fun first, or nothing else really matters, so we need a lot more gameplay info before we can really start talking about what's to come. But I am super hyped for this game. If anything, I'm holding back from speculating way too much because I definitely could. Racing and vehicle games like Need for Speed, Burnout, Split Second, games that are action-packed and full of speed and destruction are one of my favorite genres. Recently we've had next to none of those games. Destruction Derby Arenas on the PlayStation 2 and Split Second on the Xbox 360 are still my favorite derby/racing games ever. Destruction All-Stars reminds me a lot of Destruction Derby Arenas for obvious reasons. There can be so much replayability in games like these when they are done correctly. Playing a race in Arenas on PS2 was always different because of the car physics and the destruction and timing of things. And a race in Split Second was never the same when you played split screen with a friend, having only a split second to react to buildings falling on the track or a train careening towards you. Replayability is arguably the most important facet of this genre. I hope Destruction All-Stars can deliver on that and also provide some sweet, tasty loot in the form of customization options to our cars and drivers to keep us coming back for more car carnage and multiplayer mayhem. That's it for today's video on Destruction All-Stars. I'll leave the links to the game trailer and Lucid Games official Twitter if you want to follow them to keep up to date on the game down in the description and in the pinned comment. Let me know if you're excited for this game, what you think of the trailer, and what you hope to see in the game. Is a battle pass your thing, or would you rather see vehicle upgrades and levels? Let me know. If you enjoyed this video or found any informative value in it, give it a like as it helps get the video out to more people, and subscribe for more epic loot news on Destruction All-Stars. Also, follow me on Twitter for more game news that doesn't quite make it into videos, and for other game shenanigans and discussions. My name has been JustJarrod. Until next time, have a legendary day, night, afternoon. Peace out.